Alright, you guys, I promised you guys some more videos here in the last video about the Tech Speed King, which we're all really excited about. We got a bunch of great entries last night. I think we're up to 21 BPS on the electronic scale, which isn't amazingly fast, but we're getting up there. I'm surprised that modern loaders can keep up. The other funny thing is I've been getting a lot of comments about that Angel LCD show where I'm drinking a Grain Belt Premium. Grain Belt Premium is the best beer pretty much ever, and if you ever get a chance, it's a Midwestern beer. It's brewed in Minnesota. It is delicious. And anybody who's been to Living Legends knows how much me and Bryce both love the Grain Belt. So, moving on from the beer and the past videos, this is an old school guns tour, if you didn't know the title when you were clicking on this video. This gun is a really interesting gun. This gun came out before I started to play, and it's another one of the guns in the list of guns that the Ion takes credit for but isn't actually a part of, which is the budget level electronic gun. Like I've stated in the tribal video and other videos, the Ion seems to take credit for being the first budget level electronic gun, and that's just simply not true. There's a lot of budget level electronic guns that came out before the Ion did, and this one is one of my favorite. I've wanted this one on the show for a while. I was actually going to buy this exact gun, but it turns out that I didn't, and Kevin did instead. Kevin, also QMTO. He's donated several other guns to the show, and he's a really, really great guy. You can tell just by his taste in guns. Also, don't drink until you're 21, kids, please. And but yeah, QMTO Kevin sent me this gun, another gun to review. This gun is the Spyder EM1, which you might be like, well, why would Cockerpunk want to have a Spyder on the show? Well, it's not a blowback. That's the cool thing about this gun. This is Spyder, or Kingman's, first attempt at making an electro-pneumatic gun. This gun works like a BKL, like a Fusion, or like a Legend. It's a forward air, spring on return, right? So phaser, Fasor, whatever the hell you pronounce that, right? So it's spring-loaded, but it has a pneumatic-style solenoid in it. It's unique in the phaser, Fasor realm in that instead of the spring being built into the ram in the bottom tube, this gun actually has the spring in the top tube. It actually pulls the bolt back. Unlike we usually have a spring that pushes the rammer back, we actually have a spring that pulls the bolt back. But it works like a normal stack tube in that it has a pin that pins the hammer to the bolt. This gun came out in about 2000-2001 for a retail price in the $500 range, depending on what options you got with it. So again, you know, in the 2000 era, we had things like the Angel at $1,200. We had the Shocker at $900, and then we had budget level electronic guns. This all, of course, in the realm of the heyday, if you will, of the mechanical autococker, where you had $1,800 mechanical autocockers, which I could only dream of, right? But this was a budget-level electronic gun. Later, they came out with a double trigger version, but this one has just the single. It also has a fully multi-mode board, so it has like a 3-round burst, a 6-round burst, and a full auto, depending on how you select it. So again, this is another popular trait in the first generation electronic guns, is these multi-mode boards that we don't really see anymore. Now we see multi-mode as NXL and PSP mode, whereas this has a true full auto, like a full auto. So it's spider threaded. Kevin's gun here has an OTP, on target products barrel, but otherwise it's just a normal spider threaded barrel. This gun also has an LPR, which is getting rare these days in paintball guns. So it has an LPR. This front grip is actually not a regulator. it is just a volumizer, you can see there. The high pressure regulator is this one right here, which was also featured on the Spyder EMG and the what was the other gun? Spyder Shutter. That's the other gun. So it's a bottom line mounted regulator. It's not the most particularly good regulators. It also means that the EM1 does not take normal bottom lines, so you kind of got to play with them. See, it doesn't even have the normal Spyder offset holes. It has these side-by-side holes. So, but that being said, the gun actually matches modern ergonomics pretty good because it puts the ASA right where an on-off ASA would be, unlike, you know, a drop-forward style gun. As I explained, it is a phaser, so it has pneumatics to push it forward and a spring to fling it back. It has a tray here that holds the 9-volt. That's what this piece of tape is covering up. You can actually see as a Duracell in there. But it also has the solenoid mounted in there. The frame mounts the board. Now, these guns were not wildly popular. Not terribly popular. Most people would rather have bought automags or autocockers instead at this kind of price point. That being said, it is a nice shooting gun. I've shot them before, and they're very fun. They're a good pickup, again, you know, much like the Tribal, where it's a very cheap pickup to kind of get into old school guns. So I recommend if you find one, this is a pretty good pickup. The other nice thing is guns like these often got retrofitted with like clamping feed necks, which is nice because stock this came with just a regular stovepipe, and you know, a clamping feed neck is really nice in the modern day. But yeah, otherwise it's efficient. You know, maybe not up to modern standards efficient, but you shouldn't be getting less than 1300, 1400 with this style gun. And it doesn't kick that badly. It's not particularly heavy or you know, bulky, unlike a lot of modern gun or old school guns compared to modern guns. It's a cool gun, just period. I like the EM1s, and like I said, I was gonna actually buy this exact EM1, but Kevin ended up buying it instead of me, and couldn't be happier that he's a fan of the show. So hit me up if you have an old school gun, if you got a suggestion for an old school gun. There's a lot of guns that I'd like to get on the show that I don't actually own, so if you own some old school guns, just let me know. We can probably work something out with shipping, and we can get it on the show. But yeah, the EM1, yet another budget level electronic gun that is actually quite fun to play with in the modern day. So hope you guys are having a good time with the Speed King competition and the Old School Guns Tour. And thanks for watching. See ya.